Hey, good morning, everybody. It's LALATE. How are you? It's early mornings LALATE, the 6:30 edition. Boy, if you did not watch the 6 o'clock edition, big developments about your CR continuing resolution, which today we will learn whether or not it's extended or not. House of Representatives, which are Democrats, which introduced no less than a couple more proposals yesterday, or memos, or napkins at the 11th hour. We're rushing to do things at the 11th hour, so, we need more time, we're delayed. Well, you think maybe you do things ahead of time? You wouldn't be delayed? They asked for an extension, got it, for themselves, but it now lands in the Senate. It's not law yet, it's only the House, lands in the Senate, and now the Senate today will decide whether Mitch wants an extension. We heard last night that Mitch blamed Nancy Pelosi for the entire delay of the stimulus package since the summer and said there was a personal problem of hers. So will he push this to no extension today? What do you think? Do you think Mitch will ask for an extension today or not? Drop in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Meantime, $24 if you're on SSI and SSDI, yes. When will that land? And how about the FPUC retroactive? And is this FPUC that one of the memos did, very few of the other ones had it, is that a trick? I'll have those details as well. Meantime, incredible great news as virtually all the parties involved, with the exception of Cassidy out of Louisiana. Goodness, that senator who, I guess he disappeared after Purple Power took care of his fake narrative. He's the only one that didn't want to give you a stimulus check. Well, now almost everyone wants to give you a stimulus check. The question is how quickly you can get it. I'll have those details and more. And meantime, big money coming from your states. It's all developing this morning. I'm so glad you joined me. The toast is toast and the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here, but where the darn is that bacon? It's early mornings, LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's early morning. It's LALATE. How are you? You know, it's Friday morning. Did the week crush you? Well, it's time to crush the weekend because we are at the weekend, and I don't mean the singer. I mean the music. I mean the Congress is facing the music. So they did not get much progress yesterday, but we're going to make progress together. So please subscribe and go to the first channel, hit that alert button. You know, the most important thing that I think viewers now understand, I think they're very well in tune on this channel now, I really appreciate it, is that this money from your states is the money to really focus on. This congressional group of people are just, so I'm focusing on getting you money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, and not 5 months from now. And the viewers of this channel are really focused on this state money. State stimulus checks, state rent, state utilities, state toys, private organizations doing the same for rent, utilities, food, and toys. Everything across the board. And it's important to understand is that you shouldn't give up at any step of the way because ultimately there is an organization out there for you. If I don't cover it on Purple Power Live at 7 o'clock, 7:30 every day from the West Coast, or I don't cover it in another live recording, reach out to the volunteer because they will know more than even I may know. It's incredible great news. Like, for example, Miami-Dade that's passing out a $500 food card in a few days from now. I want to ensure you get this information. I want to ensure you get the money. And by that, please subscribe and hit the alert button. And with that, over there, thank goodness I forgot about those people. It's an instant premiere. So if you're joining the show at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, then you're able to watch as an instant premiere, chat along with your friends, and join the excitement. And with that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news, as you said this morning, is that we really don't know what's going to happen with Congress today. And yesterday, we really weren't expecting what happened either. And the day before was a hot mess express. In no less than 3 days, this is what's happened with this group. We don't have one proposal. We have so many proposals that I don't even know how many there are. We don't have a single bill. No one has actually sat down and written a bill. This goes back to LALATE write a bill from, what was it, October on this channel. We don't have anyone writing a bill. There is no bill. There's 900 memos. We have Democrats disagreeing with Democrats. We have Republicans disagreeing with Republicans. We have the White House disagreeing with itself. Everyone's disagreeing. And is anything agreed upon on any subject matter with these people? Yeah. They want to give big business some PPP. They agree upon that. And then they generally agree upon one issue, your UI and your PUA. They don't want that to expire in late December. That's good. So ultimately what you need to know is you need to certify for benefits every week. Please, 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 please don't miss a day to certify. But what they want to do is that if your unemployment benefits run out, let's say tomorrow or the day after, and they don't get this done until a week from tomorrow, don't worry, it'll cover you back. It'll go back and cover you and put you back on PUA or UI, so don't worry about that. Meantime, I think the messaging is getting very clear among congressional leaders, because yesterday and the day before, they understood that the narrative of who gets money and how they get money and how quickly they get money was not accurate, that some of them were saying. Stimulus checks are the fastest way that Americans can get relief. Nothing gets you faster. No, there's nothing that you could land in your hands faster than 10 days. Stimulus checks is 10 days. Nothing lands faster than a stimulus check. Unemployment benefits could be a month. Some things like hazard pay, which is not in this, but hazard pay could be 3 months. Rent aid, 2 months. I mean, these things are not fast. Stimulus check, 10 days. Next, it's important to understand that when people talk about millions of Americans need FPUC and we should have FPUC instead of a stimulus check, let me explain why that's not rational. Because unemployment FPUC is paid also to very rich people. Unemployment assistance is paid to rich people who are just unemployed. It's not a relief program just for a certain demographic. And so ultimately, if you made $200,000 a year last year and you were unemployed, you're getting, $300 a week of unemployment benefits. And then Nancy Pelosi says, I need you to have $600 a week. Why does the rich person need to have $600 a week? They're rich. The people who need money is people who don't have money or don't make a lot of money. And that's people who are make less than $40,000 a year. And those people may not have been employed and may not qualify for employment. Maybe seniors, maybe veterans, maybe on SSI and SSDI. Those people need a check. And so ultimately, people who make less than $45,000 are the most important people to get stimulus relief. Give them a check, and that covers them. It covers them whether they are unemployed or whether they were not employed. But if you're only focusing on people who are unemployed, then people who are very rich and unemployed will get bailouts from Congress in December, but people, when they really should not. But the great focus this morning is that really, people now understand the importance of stimulus check. It took a long leap to get these congressional leaders to understand why a stimulus check was needed. Then they understood that the economics of a stimulus check is required. And then they understood that it doesn't cost a lot of money for a stimulus check. So why can they not get this done? The reason why they have not been able to get the CR done is they cannot prioritize what is emergent. Emergent? What is an emergency? What is urgent? That's a new word. That's a new word, LA. Emergent. It's emergency and urgent. Emergent. They have not been able to figure out what's emergent because state bailouts, not urgent. If the states were bankrupt, they were bankrupt, I think, in October. We've been hearing they're bankrupt for like 6 months. So, they can be bankrupt for another 10 days. They can be bankrupt to January 20th. They are not urgent. Who is urgent? People about to be evicted on the street, people about to lose their home, people who don't have any money to pay for food. Those are people who are urgent. Airlines not urgent. Hotels not urgent. PPP. You had 5 rounds of PPP before, and you keep on getting the PPP, and then it's like, I need help again. Well, you're not urgent. You got help before, so you just need help again, but you're not urgent. Urgent is stimulus check, eviction moratorium, and mortgage forbearance. And that's why The messaging was so off last week, but by yesterday, the messaging was so on. Congressional leaders, both Republicans and Democrats, understand that stimulus check, unemployment, UIPUA, eviction moratorium, and mortgage forbearance, urgent. Need to get these things done now. So what could happen? Well, the fact that they are extending this a week does not mean, or attempting to extend it for a week. We don't know if it will get extended for a week. I'll make that clear again. It's passed the House. It's landed in the Senate. We don't know if it will even pass the Senate. But if it is passed and the president signs into law, that does not mean we will wait a week for this. That's something I've not made clear. So just because the deadline was December 11th doesn't mean that we're going to absolutely do this on December 17th or December 18th. No. The last CR that I covered on this channel, they got it done about 4 days ahead of time. So when they want to get things done ahead of time, they can. The problem is no one had their messaging early on in this debacle. They waited too long and they started to pile on at the 11th hour. Oh, I forgot this. Oh, I forgot this. Oh, I forgot this. And then everyone who had stuff in early on said, I'm not taking my thing out. And so ultimately, what may happen? There's a problem here. And the problem is that McConnell wants that liability insurance provision in there. Yeah, you haven't heard me talk about that for 2 days because we thought we thought there was some movement. No, he said, I'm not taking it out. And Chuck Schumer wants that same local in there and is not taking that out. And then a lot of other people want stuff in there or want to add things. So how is this looking? It's looking like a hot mess. It's just looking like a hot mess. Now, the good news is that the states are not looking like a hot mess. And states are paying stimulus checks, stimulus rent, utilities rent. And then private organizations are doing that on top and giving you food and giving you Christmas gifts. And what's important to understand is you should never think that there's no one out there helping in your city, state, or county, because they are. The purposes of the national privates are to help people nationally. Let me explain what I mean by that. Is when you're in, for example, Kentucky is one of those states I hear a lot about, or Idaho. Say, there's nothing here, or North Carolina, there's nothing here. Wait a second, there's national organizations that are helping people for rent in countless states. So don't presume they're not in your state because they're a national organization. And what I want you to understand is that I don't ever want you to say there's nothing here because your city, state, and county has just not come forward with anything positive. Because ultimately, the positivity may come from those national nonprofits. So what should your expectations be? Your expectations should be that you should possibly be able to get rent, maybe some utilities, and certainly food and gifts. And the way you do it is going to the City Hall, County Hall, State Housing Authority, County Housing Authority, call them on the phone. Do you have any assistance for rent? Any assistance for food? And if you get into a block and you don't find anything, then reach out to the volunteers on the channel. They're here to help you. The volunteers are just incredible. And the other people that are absolutely incredible are the viewers, because the viewers are jumping into Purple Power Live every night and they're just saying, hey, Michigan, I got money rent from this group in Michigan. I'm like, who? From this group. I got group, then I'm like, wait a second, I had another group. Well, this group as well. How about Mississippi? 3, Rhode Island, 2 more. Wait a second. So it's not like there's one group in every state that's paying rent. There's several groups. And what's important to understand is you need to reach out to the volunteer. One of the things I've not made clear in recent videos is you need to reach out to the volunteer. So don't leave like a comment on a video and say, contact me. You don't want that. I'll tell you several reasons why. They don't scroll through, every video has 10,000 comments. They don't scroll through 10,000 comments and find you. That's the first thing. Second, you don't want people you have not reached out to contacting you. That's a privacy concern. You don't, because ultimately it could be a third party. It may be someone totally has nothing to do with the website. Hi, can you come and help me? And then suddenly it's like, oh, here's a person I can just prey on. Let me reach out to that person who's asking for help. No, you don't want to post, hi, contact me. You don't want to do that. You want to go to the community page and reach out to the volunteer and say, hi, can you help me? And when you reach out to the volunteer, this is a volunteer. It's as simple as that. If you have questions or comments today's video, drop them comments below and I might feature them in tomorrow's recording. Join me live at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time from morning to LALATE. I expect that to be the big broadcast. The big ones lately have been afternoons check and evenings check for purposes of the CR, because that's when the stuff hits the fan. And then Bean and Mitch, which is live generally, and Purple Power Live have been big ones as well. Join me on those. As always, stay informed, stay smiling. Have a great morning, and stay in LA for more.